Welcome back. If it has joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. NLC and TUC lead massive protests across the country against the increase in electricity tariffs. Minister of Power, Works and Housing meets power distribution companies in Lagos, urges speedy rollout of prepaid meters to Nigerians. Federal High Court refuses to quash charges against former NSA retired Colonel Sambo Dasuki in the $2.1 billion arms purchase scandal. And at least 27 migrants die off the coast of Turkey in their bid to reach the Greek island of Lesbos. You can get more on today's stories, all our top stories, that is, including the protests on our websites, channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Do visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on a mobile device and download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. We also urge you to please interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature in the Channels TV app. If you have pictures or videos you'd like to share with us, please tap the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Let's take a look at some of the pictures that you sent into our Eyewitness portal, beginning with this one from Kaoje Ilo Road in Kebbi State, showing a pothole on the road. Our Eyewitness reporter wants government to mend the road. Next is this one from Katsina City in Katsina State, showing a fire. Our Eyewitness reporter says this was an accident in which lives were lost. He's asking road users to be more careful while driving. We also have this one from the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja, showing a truck loaded beyond capacity. Our Eyewitness reporter wants men of the Federal Road Safety Corps to go after such offenders. We'll end here in Lagos, in Surulere, where we have a picture showing a trailer displaying her wares under electric cables. A dangerous move there. Our reporter is warning traders to desist from this dangerous act.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
We continue our discussion on the electricity tariffs increase and Labour's protest today. I'm being joined on the news at 10 by Mr. Oduntan. He's the Executive Director of the Electricity Distribution Company. You're welcome to the news at 10.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Well, I know that while we were on break, you were listening to, before we went on break, you were listening to the NLC President Ayuba Waba saying that the distribution companies have not done what they promised to do, and then they're asking to increase tariff, and yet these meters are not available and so on. Is there really any need to increase tariffs now?
Well, first of all, let me make it clear to Nigerians that the NSC president is misleading Nigerians. I know that.
Why do you say that?
One of the things he said was that we did not carry out consultation. In fact, what he said is even indicting NAC, our regulator. This is a very heavily regulated industry. We held consultation all over the country. I was part of many of the consultations. I was in Ikeja, I was in Eko, I was in Benin, and we went around the country, and all stakeholders, including labor unions, MBA, and all sorts. And part of the requirement was that we should video everything. Videos don't lie. But you see, I know that Aluta Continua, Victoria Sata, you see, the thing about this tariff increase, we've been on this one for a long time.
Well, sorry to interrupt, but you say that NLC was part of the discussions, and during your tour across the country, you recorded all of the discussions that you had. Now, when you were talking about electricity tariffs, was Labour in support of it?
Well, Labour would not be in support of anything if it is not going to pay their pocket.
But you decided to go ahead
So,
with it.
no. The majority of the people that we had meetings with, after seeing the figure themselves all over the country, and the facts are there, majority of those reasonable people understood what we were trying to do, and they were in support.
Okay.
So the issue is we just need to look at where we're coming from and then see where we are. And I'm still appealing to well-meaning Nigerians to put the nation first and go by the figure instead of all these mago-mago way of doing things and lying to the public when we know the facts to be otherwise. For instance, last year, January, this country we were generating less than 2,000 megawatts. Today, for the first time in the history of Nigeria, we have crossed the line of 5,074 megawatts. That's a big deal. That is more than double. That's one. Number two, the issue of tariff. We're just talking about appropriate pricing of the product, any product. If you don't have the appropriate pricing, how can you approach financial institutions for funding, for loans, for anything that you want to do, the investment that needs to be done? The issue of metering, we're already embarking on aggressive metering. But when we came on board, we met 5 million metering gap. You cannot meter 5 million Nigerians in 3 years. It's not possible. So these are the things I'm saying that we should, an industry that has been neglected for over 32 years. And now some guys came on board, private sector, within 2 years, you want that magic. Not only do you want magic, what people like them, what they are saying is, initially they didn't even want the privatization anyway. I'm not an investor. I don't have a problem with that. My own issue is, let there be light. If we want light in this country, let us talk about how much does it cost to produce this, so how much should it really go for?
You're going to go ahead with the increase in tariff despite Labour's protests?
Let me talk about it. Let's talk about it as if we're talking about a child or a pregnancy. You can only talk about abortion when there's a pregnancy. You don't talk about abortion after the baby has been born. A baby was born on the 1st of February, that's the new tariff. Any attempt to tamper with the baby, we are not talking about somebody who wants to commit murder. So it's not about whether we are going ahead with it. It's live and well. What we want is for Nigerians to get the service that they deserve. For you to get the meters, for us to give you better customer service, for you to call our attention and even make us to be more accountable. Today we had a meeting with the Minister of Power. That meeting, like the one we had last month with him, for the first time, we have a minister in this country that will call all the stakeholders together. Generators, generation companies, transmission company, distribution company. And now we have increased the generation. But the Labour people are not talking about that.
And I'm sure that there will be more discussions on this between you and Labour, hopefully in the near future. Thank you so much for joining us on the News at 10, Mr. Sunday Oduntan.
Thank you very much.
Now, the Minister of Power, Works and Housing has been speaking on the issues surrounding the hike in electricity tariffs, saying the decision is the first major action that will attract the needed investment in the sector. Mr. Babatunde Fashola, who was in Lagos for an operators meeting, also inspected a transmission facility under construction, urging the contractor to expedite action to facilitate improved power supply.
It's the second in the series of ongoing monthly conversation by operators of power in Nigeria, so that everyone connected to problem solving can compare notes. On this occasion, the minister is also inspecting a transmission substation here in Alogma, Lagos, which has laid comatose for a long time. He acknowledges both the enormity of work to be done and also celebrates the stability so far recorded. He will rather everyone understands the complexities of power production, which entails that there has to be a cost recovery plan for any meaningful growth and investment to happen.
In the last week of, I think, January, we recorded our all-time high generation of 5,000 megawatts. Nigeria has never reached that level of generation, but we need a lot more. But even with that 5,000, there's a lot of service work that needs to go on so that people can access the power. And so, not paying for power, you are disrupting the system. Diverting lines, you are disrupting the system. Vandalizing pipes, you are disrupting the system. Illegal connections, you are cheating in the system. It's part of anti-corruption. Everybody must pay for what he uses.
While this brainstorming session and practical work is ongoing, the union are on the streets protesting tariff hike.
The question on the mouth, on the lips of everybody is, why can't we have power first before we pay? Yes, I wish we could do that. But if they understood that power business is funded from finance from banks, So no bank is going to lend money to you if you can't show a recovery price. That's the reason why we can't have power first before tariff. It has to be produced before we have it, and it has to be paid for. The supplier of gas is not going to supply unless he sees his cash. So our friends in labor should not start a new fight. We don't need one. We need productivity. In any event, their members are part of the employees of all these discos and gencos and all, still working. So let's get to productivity. Let's stop fighting. Let's produce.
Now that we have a market price for electricity, price that will cover the cost, because before now, the price cannot cover the cost. And that is so we will meter all our customers within the stipulated agreement.
Electricity generation and supply does appear to be a tortuous journey. Understandably, patience is running out for consumers. However, what is critical is to see all of these efforts consummating into incremental growth of power output. Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.
When the News at 10 returns, we're back to Abuja for more on the News at 10, one of which is the EFCC and Ministry of Health defending their budgets in the House of Representatives. Please join us again.